Alright, so this is something that all of you should have, and today I'm gonna explain why. Alright, so I know a lot of other YouTubers or like other people are just gonna say like, oh, you should journal because it'll help process your emotions, reflect on yourself, give you a space to like lay out your own beliefs, your own perspective, your own thoughts on things, and like while all that's great, like the reason I journal is for a bit of a different reason, and it has more, and it's like more introspective, as if you were talking to yourself as a person, instead of just only like looking at yourself as uh, just as like you and your emotions and your thoughts, like instead of just looking at yourself like that. Like I'm gonna explain to you why you guys should all have a journal, and not only just for like processing your emotions and all of the traditional ways or like purposes that a journal is used for. Alright, so what I mean by talking to yourself like more introspectively is like I want you to treat your journal like kind of like a mirror, I guess, a mirror of yourself as a person, okay? Like so in your journal, like in your journal, you're gonna want to go like first of all you can go into like explaining like what you felt today, what your thoughts were like like what kind of actions you did, like what you thought about yourself when you did those actions, like what you thought, like what you might want to change, any dreams, like goals, anything you want to change about yourself, anything that you're reflecting on. Like you can do all that first, but like I would say that's only like a small aspect of like the way you can journal, like the way you can fully journal if you use journaling to its like full potential. Because to me, like journaling, while it may be like a practice of writing down and putting all of the things that you want to like talk about or process, understand more about yourself. Journaling could go deeper than that. Journaling could actually be an actual like conversation with you and yourself. Like it doesn't have to be just a space to let out ideas. It could be a space where it's almost like you're talking to yourself, and it's almost like there's a secondary person or like someone. Well, you can't really say it's other than you because that other someone is you, but like it's kind of like talking to someone else, like who you can freely converse with, like without any judgment, any like doubt, any hesitation. Like you're just like freely, just purely without filter, just being yourself. But like another benefit of this is that that other person is you, and you are the person that understands yourself the most. So if you could have a space where you could talk to that person, or that person being like kind of a copy of, it's not even a copy of you, it's really just you talking to you. And it's like if you can have a space where you can just do that, like talk to yourself with all of the understandings that you have about yourself, I think that's when we can like most effectively journal, process, and like understand ourselves on a more fundamental, like on a more like deeper level, other than just like surface level emotions, like things you like immediate thoughts or like emotions and actions that occur. So it's like, let me give you an example kind of. So I wrote a journal passage like yesterday. Like I basically wrote down and like logged how my day was, what I did, like the emotions I felt, the thoughts I had, like what I thought that meant about me. That was all great. But then like deeper than that, I started to really talk to myself, like not just reflect. Like when people reflect, they often like look at things more deeply, or like try to understand things like in considering like what drove those emotions, or like considering how I am as a person, or like what qualifies me, or like what qualities, characters, like expectations, thoughts, like self, like characterizations I have about myself. Like that's what people usually like tend to do when they reflect. But like talking to yourself in a journal, that would be more like as if you were talking to yourself like a friend would, except at the same time you're also talking specifically about you as a person, and like you're more deeply like and more unfilteredly like going into why you do anything, like what drives you to do anything, basically. Like that's like the most fundamental question, like what drives you to do anything, what drives you to be with these group of friends, what drives you to have these opinions, what drives you to be you, basically. And like you know how like this kind of question about identity, about something really deep like this, like you know how it's like just something that you just can't answer at once, like it's a really difficult and vague question. Well, rather than directly answering the question, I would say that that question is more of a mediator to allow you to just learn more about yourself piece by piece. Because the way I see journaling, journaling is a good way to use to be able to manage yourself, to be able to understand, process, you know, your thoughts, actions, emotions, all that, yeah, blah blah blah. But like you can literally go deeper than that. You can go deeper and understand yourself so well that like you just gain this like sense of self-awareness and like clarity over your life that can help you make decisions that you will not like regret, that you know you actually want to do. And that's why I think you guys should journal, not only to like allow yourself to like be able to process your emotions, thoughts, actions, and all of that, but also to be able to understand yourself piece by piece more and more, so that later on in the future, like since you understand yourself like so much better through journaling, you can actually start to make decisions, make like thinking like processes, make like your decisions, and like just having more control over yourself in the future, because your sense of direction, or the things like the things that you are more naturally drawn to, that you value more, or that you actually enjoy, and like things that give you like life, like if you continue journaling and learn these things about yourself like piece by piece over time, that's also going to lead to more clarity, more control, more like just better decision making for you yourself. Okay, so literally every day, well, it doesn't even have to be every day. You could journal whenever you want, really. It could be weekly, it could be monthly, honestly. But I want you to journal whenever you feel lost, whenever you're not sure what to do, whenever you feel like you've just sort of been like going through your life and it doesn't feel like you have a definite direction, or if you feel like you're in a place that doesn't give you a lot of energy, or makes you feel kind of small, kind of like you can't really do anything right now, kind of like your life is kind of boring, then I want you to journal. Like I want you to journal and it really like dig deep into yourself as a person. Like dig deep and like go beyond just like surface level emotions and thoughts, and like understand why these emotions and thoughts arise. And not only that, what do I as a person desire? What do I as a person believe I can be? What is the conception of myself that I might want to become? And then the more you start to understand this, and the more you start to articulate and like elaborate on this, the better and like the more clear, and actually I think the more enjoyable your life might become, because you understand yourself to the point where you know what you want to do and what you know is draining you. Yeah. So that's why I think y'all should journal. Journaling is so good. It's also just a good way to de-stress. Just, letting down all of your thoughts, your ideas, your emotions, thoughts, opinions, actions, beliefs, perspectives on things, reflections, introspections, whatever spection. Yes, bro, you should journal. Me personally, I've been journaling every day. It's like awesome, bro. Cause like every day, like I don't feel as lost, because like I don't feel like I'm just going through life like just doing what I have to. Like I feel like I'm more like, ever since I started journaling, it feels like I'm actually doing actions that, or like things that I actually want to do, not just like doing things because I don't know what else to do. So I'm just gonna like do things that gives me like immediate dopamine, or like something that just like takes me away from my boring life. But like, thing about a boring life is like your life isn't boring. It's just, I feel like a person who has a boring life, it's just they haven't discovered the fact that like they can like just do other things. Like they can really make their life like just not boring. Like they just need to really discover and like believe the fact that they can do more than they already do right now. Like they don't have to be limited by the simple routines, or like the current like tasks, or like expectations that are set on you. Like you are more than your expectations, and journaling helps you discover like what you actually want to do. So yeah, moral of the video, please journal. And while you're journaling, I want you to write about what you want as a person. What do you desire? What do you want to go more towards? What is your direction? What is the direction that you want to go towards more in life? And at first, it's gonna be really vague, It's gonna be hard to fully and like accurately articulate, but that's the point of journaling. It's to like make it more clear over time as you keep journaling. So yes, you guys should journal. Like this is such an awesome thing to do. Honestly, I started journaling like literally yesterday, and like even after just one day, like I can already start to feel a really vague, yet a definitely like manifesting and like solidifying direction that I want to take in life. So yes, you guys should please journal, bro. Like journaling is so good. All right, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next.